Welcome to the Liberty Flames podcast channel. Time now to introduce you to the Flames making news on the court, the field, and in the classroom.
Welcome into a very special Liberty Flames women's basketball show. We don't often have a show early in September, but we've had some big news that came out in the last week or so, and I am here sitting with the big news. Coach Carey Green. And, Coach, you announced your retirement back at the end of August. And for me, having been together with you for so long, it was one of those scenarios where I felt happy for you because I know you have fought the battles, and if anybody deserves a little rest and relaxation, it's you. You know, you have won so many championships, games, and even as an assistant coach before that at Clemson, and you go all the way back to your playing days at Coastal Carolina. Not that I want to say that you don't deserve retirement, but then there's the selfish part of me that goes, wow, this is going to be different. We have been through these interviews, and I've talked to you. I added it up. It's been something around, if you go the shows that we do during the week, and then pregame and postgame interviews, and a few other odds and ends here and there, probably about 2,500 times that we've turned on a microphone, and some of those have been in the backs of arenas next to the electrical room or next to a garbage bin or whatever, not always in a nice setting like we're in today here in the War Room at the Lady Flames complex, but we've gone through a lot. So selfishly I was like, oh golly, that's going to be tough those first few games, first few months of just not seeing Carey Green across from me. It's been a long time, but let's start with the thought process that went behind the decision, and I imagine your phone has lit up like a Christmas tree with text messages and phone calls the last week and a half since you made the decision.
Well, first of all, Jamie, it's been honor and privilege working with you. And I just want to say thank you. And
appreciate that. You're
a MVP, Hall of Famer in my eyes. And we have certainly been at some places, no doubt. We've had interruptions, doors come open, people yelling, and we've been in some really nice places.
Been locked out, too.
Yeah, locked out, things like that. But the process has been a process. We've been here on the job for 9,938 days, and give me a break, cut me some slack, give me a pass. It's time to move on into another season, and how do we get there? There is not one specific deal breaker that just changed everything. I want to say first and foremost to make everything clear, the administration here at Liberty has been wonderful the entire time I've come here. I came here under Kim Graham as athletic director with Dr. Falwell, and just being blessed from that point to even now with Dondi Costin and Ian McCall and Aaron Hagan just supporting me, and I received a phone call and went to see Ian McCall, and we had an offer to extend my contract. I had 1 year left on the contract, but it wasn't something that I was interested in. It had been a period of time, and that we have gradually got to this point. And if people were really watching Carey Green and watching me really close, they would have seen at the NCAA tournament against Kentucky, they would have seen a 90-year-old mother sitting in the stands. They would have seen my three brothers and their spouses, and in addition to that, my two children, their spouses, and 5 grandchildren, And they would probably have been putting two and two together to figure out something's going on. And regardless, they were there to support. We were right there, just needed 2 points, and that game would have changed, or just one play would have changed everything. But it's been a process, that and what's going on with the transfer portal and the NIL. I'd be lying to you to say that was not a factor, but the major factors were that I had the opportunity that the university had offered me to continue on. You could say personal reasons, health, family, several things. But when it really comes down to it, I think God gives us some wisdom of knowing the season. As a crazy example, there's 4 seasons during a year. And when it's summer, you're wearing your bathing suit and you're swimming. You do not go out in the snow with your bathing suit on. I know that's crazy illustration, but you just recognize those things. And God gave us the ability to recognize seasons. And I felt like through a lot of prayer and reflection and certainly a peace of heart, that it was time for me to step away and encourage the administration to keep our staff together and just reach down to the next one in line, and that would have been Alexis Sherard, who was my associate head coach. And he was a great choice for them to move on. I will say this from not knowing what you don't know is within the last 5 days since I've announced my retirement, that stress level has just dropped off the chart. You just don't realize what this job can do to you, because when I have a bad day or we have a dark day, you're telling everybody in the world about it, Jamie, and it's showing up in the media, and it's on the news, and social media, and that's tough. You try to get a good night's sleep, and I've been really blessed, regardless win or lose, and most time we won. I could get a good night's sleep, but it does wear and tear on you, and I think it does impact your health as well. And it has been amazing how I've felt from a stress-free in the last 5 days. And I guess I gave that was a gift of stress I gave to Coach Sherard. Hopefully he can deal with it a little bit better than myself. But I cannot and will not put my finger on anything was the deal breaker that pushed me over the edge. God has been whispering. I've been listening, and it's just time. Moses passed it along to Joshua. It just continues to be like that. And as written in Ecclesiastes, there's a season, and seasons come to end, and the sun comes up, it goes down, and the next day it pops right back up. So it's a 24-hour season, or for me, 26 years season, and it's time to move on. And I've said I've really have been a self-proclaimed poor fisherman, that I've disguised that as being a coach for years. Okay, now the real truth is out. I've enjoyed impacting and how the players have impacted me. Highlights, that probably going to be one of your questions. Coach, give me a highlight. Yeah, Sweet 16 is a good one. But we've taken teams to Israel. You've been there. baptizing, being baptized and baptizing players into Jordan and seeing life changes, players accept Christ, players that are all in. When they leave, they're in a profession of being a champion for Christ as a nurse or as a veterinarian or into business or criminal justice. Those parts are exciting. And just recently, in a year or so, a player coming up and Ping that wanted me to baptize her. And not only did we have the administration of Ian and Aaron there, but having the players there along with practice players there as we had a baptismal service in the LAC, and that was something special as well. So we had the 20-year reunion of the Sweet 16 last year, and a lot of the players came back, and that was a fun homecoming for all of us. And I'm starting to name them, but there is a lot, and I can't put my finger on anything there. But God's been so good. God is good all the time, and that's the reason I came here, to honor and glorify God in a ministry here. And I'm forever grateful for you and Paul Carmody and the faculty and staff who have really been supportive and praying for us and encouraging us all along.
I do want to clarify something. You kind of mentioned health, but health's pretty good. I mean, it might, like you said, maybe a little less stress now, but that was not because I know some fans were concerned when they heard the announcement. That was a couple people came up to me and said, was it something wrong? Something wrong in that regard, but not so much.
No, not so much. Yes, we had a stent put in the Widowmaker a couple years back, and but that was not a major factor. I'm moving a little slower, but I'm still much faster than a rocking chair. So we're good, and hopefully our health will be able to help us do or encourage us or strengthen us or impact us or allow us to do some things. I got a lot of fish to catch. I'm way behind, and my wife would like to see Sight and Sound up in Pennsylvania and make some other trips and just enjoy family. And, we talk about health. I got a 90-year-old mother I'd mentioned, and her health is failing. So what son does not, or what child does not want to hang out with mom as much as they can? So the job or the ministry of coaching is very demanding. It is not a 9-to-5 job. A lot of times, most of my work is done from 5 to 11 o'clock at night in preparation for the next day, or an unbelievable amount of recruiting and conversations outside your immediate circle of staff and players and just faculty and all. So back to your question. No, I'm faster than a rocking chair. I'm good.
Is the plan, at least for now, to stay in the Lynchburg area?
Yeah, this is what we consider home. And our oldest grandson, we have 4 grandsons and 1 princess, 1 granddaughter, and she's the youngest. Our oldest is going into his senior year, and you better believe I'm recruiting like crazy for Liberty, trying to get my grandson Joshua down here. But, he's got to make his decision. I think the world of Liberty, and I think the world of my grandson. So they should be, in my eyes, perfect fit. But he's got to make that decision. He's got some great opportunities to go to other schools, but I believe in this environment, and And that's one of the reasons, we've got Alexis Sherard with me for 18 years, going on 19, but he's been here 20 with men, and Andy Bloodworth, 18 years, and Katie coming back and playing here and coaching. And the thing that's different here is that I think my staff and myself recognized a quality of life over the fame, fortune, and money that could be in another program. And to have the spiritual support of a community is something that is not taken lightly for myself. And, I'm excited to see lives change in the players that come in and work with them to help develop strong character and help develop or help them focus on eternal values and not get caught up in this materialistic world and things that will fade away. And that's been a highlight. And to have the mentors and people invest in me and me just share that, certainly a blessing. And I'm certainly grateful for God giving me this opportunity.
Have you picked out your season tickets yet for those Lady Flames games? It's going to be weird, I'm sure, walking into the arena and taking a seat up high. Now, are you more an up high guy or are you more a courtside guy?
Well, I don't know. I let my wife pick those seats out, so she's in the middle, and that might be where we're at. But yeah, we'll be there and cheering for the Lady Flames, and I expect them to be champions again. Okay, because they've got a lot of talent there and great coaching. And if they can just stay away from entry bug and the flu bugs and things that just come your way, unfortunately, that changes and impacts the game. But, I might be buying the Krispy Kremes for them this year. So hopefully we can eat a lot of Krispy Kreme.
Now, I know you have a reputation. I'm sure if we brought in somebody like Dan Outlaw from back in the Big South days, going, oh yeah, Carey can work a referee. He's going to try to, subtly or not subtly work the referees. Your wife wasn't as subtle about it. She was boisterous in the stands about when the referees didn't make the right call. Now that you're going to be up there with her, are you going to be the calming factor, or are you going to be the one leading the raucousness?
Well, I don't know if I can sit beside Denise. I love her, and you're absolutely right. She's pulling for her Lady Flames, okay? And I have been to our children's competition when they were young, high school days, and I've been to grandchildren. Whoa, she's much louder than I want to be, and so hopefully I'm going to calm her down a little bit, but if not, I'm going to have to get another seat somewhere else or go to the popcorn, get popcorn a lot.
Well, I better turn us in a different direction because I'm going to get both of us in trouble if I keep going in this.
I need to shut up.
In this angle, but that's a good segue to the kind of the final thought is the people that have impacted you over your career, and I know Denise is at the very top of that list as far as it's a tough profession, and it's a tough profession to be a spouse in. And you've got a cheerleader right at the top there, and then all the way down, like you said, your family, kids, grandkids, mom and dad back in the day,
yes,
and of course a staff that has evolved some over the years, but for the most part has stayed together more than probably any other team in the country.
I agree. I called Denise my trophy wife, and that is for a reason. She's been a great supporter and encourager, and couldn't done any of these things or had these opportunities without her. Along with that, Brian and Angie, my son and daughter, so supportive in the early days, and us supporting them. Many nights we would, after practice at Clemson, we would go to Little John. I'd have Angie and Brian in there shooting hoops and things like that, and baseball. And now that they have family, we've got grandchildren. Yes, I've been pitching to the grandchildren and working on ball handling skills or basketball skills. What grandfather doesn't love those things? And take them fishing. The little princess, Evie, she came in during the summer, and one day she caught 55 fish. I've never done that. And she's putting the worm on and taking the fish off herself. So a grandfather, man, you got one special there. And nowadays the things have sort of changed. I get something on my cell phone and some drill, and I'll send it to my grandsons. And they respond back. Hey, Grandpa, look at this. And just last week, Brian sent me a video of Connor, his son, doing a drill that I'd sent to them and showed me the progression. The first time he did it, and then 15 minutes later, how he's improved and did the drill so much quicker. We can reach out even when they're in Greenville, South Carolina, or Angie and her family is in Bangor, Maine. And in fact, they came down for the football game this weekend. My son-in-law is a athletic director up there, deputy athletic director, Jason Grunkemeyer, and one of our grandsons, Nate, came down with Evie, and they jumped on that airplane, the football airplane came down. So it was like 36 hours of just wide open, doing things together while we could. And, you got to have that type of support within the core of your family. And without that, it's certainly lonely, and it's not the way to do life. You want to do life with others and have relationships. And then what Liberty gives you is a family atmosphere that you and I have shared together. And it's such a blessing to be in that. And that's the reason I've had a staff that have been really good and supported us, and they've stayed around. And I agree with you. I don't think there's another staff have stayed at one program longer than our staff has been here at Liberty, and that helps build a program to stay and maintain it. And that's the reason I have a confidence in Coach Sherard or the entire coaching staff, Katie and Andy and Dan Lumpkin and Brad Palmer, and Emma Hess is coming back with them too. So and Amber Lee, who's come in and really just taken us to another level in social media. Now she is allowed on the floor, fireball point guard that is really smart and really adds a lot to our program. So I've been blessed with them, and I'm confident that they're going to put a championship team on the court.
Well, I got some more questions, but We're going to bring in Coach Alexis Sherard, which is going to take a little while for him to kind of wrap his brain around that head coach, Alexis Sherard, but I know he's ready for it. We're going to talk to him here in just a second when we come back from this break, but I do want to take one final moment to say thank you for all that you've done for me in my life and your friendship. And like I said, it's more family than it is a job, and I have always appreciated anything that I've had to do. If somebody says, "Oh, women's basketball is coming up, are you ready?" I say, "Ready or not, I'm. Let's go. I might not have all my scout done, but I'm ready to start talking some Liberty women's basketball." And it's just been a pleasure to be a part of it with you.
Thank you, Jamie. Our success has been to honor and glorify God, but our success is not created alone, and you and all of those around our program have impacted it, and we've had some great entrenched fans that have been there for 26 years, and we certainly appreciate them. And we've gone to Puerto Rico and other places, Mexico, and all of a sudden there's one, two, Max Gasser shows up, and
Right.
we've had a lot of entrenched fans, Kathy Williams, and I need to shut up because I'm going to get myself in trouble because I'm going to leave somebody out. But it's been a great family atmosphere and success to honor and glorify God. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring in Coach Alexis Sherard as you're listening to the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back into this special edition of the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. And we now have Coach Carey Green back and joined by Alexis Sherard. And this is to me, because I look at you guys, I mean, we've been together forever now. Coach, you and I, 26 years. Alexis, 19, going into 19 years. And, of course, you were around Liberty even before that. So, to me, this is just a chance to hang out with a couple of friends and maybe talk a little bit of basketball. And I know, and Coach, we talked about this already, that the number of times you and I have talked with each other, I was jokingly saying that maybe my mom is the only one that I've talked to more in the last 26 years, especially during basketball season. But as many times as I've talked to you guys, the number of conversations in the last 18 plus years, it's off the charts. Right-hand man for that whole time, Coach. Let's start with you, Coach Green. How happy are you? And I know there's always some bittersweet moments in these decisions to retire and to kind of step away from something that you've done for so long. But how nice is it to know that you're leaving the program in some friendly, capable hands?
You know, you use the phrase bittersweet, but I don't see the bitter in it. It's been sweet for me to be working with Alexis over these years, and I expected, as he was already my associate head coach, just to step in. And I am a little older, but not quite old enough to be his father. But you know, it makes a father happy to pass something along to his son. And again, we're closer than our relationship is father-son relationship or best friends. So it's not bitter at all. It's sweet to see, and that he's got this opportunity, and there's no question that he's ready. And we've worked together, and we've shared our ministry together, and I'm really proud of him.
Coach Sherard, everybody knows Coach Green is a hunter. He's a fisherman. He's an outdoorsman. I don't see those things. I'm not saying that you've never done those things, but I don't see those as being the highest priorities in your social life. So there's some opposites in this relationship as well. You guys have different things. Coach Green's got the remote control. We're watching the Wildlife Network. You've got the remote control. We're watching NBA TV. It's just a different vibe. Maybe Family Feud with Steve Harvey. I'm not sure, but one of the two. So how have some of those opposites been a blessing as well?
Well, I mean, the old phrase goes, opposites attract. And honestly, I think that's what has kept our relationship strong over the years, because obviously we have a working relationship. And being a college basketball coach is not a traditional 9-to-5, so we spend a lot of time together, a lot of hours. But after work is over and the job is done, I think Coach has his relaxing tool with his hunting and fishing, and I have my relaxing tool. I'm more of, in the gym, working out, doing something preferably indoors. But I think just the combination of the two things, we've been together 18 years, and as much as Coach loves to hunt, I've been hunting with him one time. And that was fantastic, and that was enough for me.
We're not going to hold that against him. Okay.
So I think the old phrase opposites attract has been really, really pleasing and a great experience for our relationship, actually.
Let's go back 18 years, because I think some people may not realize this. When you think about it, the freshmen weren't alive. A lot of the parents that are now Lady Flames fans were in college or high school themselves. I'm dating us all here. I'm making us all feel a little bit old. But everyone might not remember exactly that transition that you made when you first became the assistant coach for Liberty Women's Basketball. You were already at Liberty at the time.
Sure, yeah. So I spent 2 years here at Liberty on the men's side, and then there was transition on the men's side. Coach Green came to me, talked to me, just asked me what I had going on. As I said, I was just in transition. He had an opening. One of his assistant coaches was actually leaving for the WNBA, a very good assistant coach that he had, Olaf. And when he introduced the opportunity to me, at that time I had never coached women's basketball. I actually remember telling him, Coach, I don't even have a sister. I don't know the first thing about women's basketball. And he was so gracious and kind. He and his wife, Denise, actually came to my home, sat with me and my wife at the time for about 3 hours, and just answered all of our questions, any reservations, any concerns. And 18 years later, never looked back and enjoyed every minute of it.
Coach Green, when that opening came up, when Olaf left to join his wife, who coaching in the WNBA and won the championship last year for the New York Liberty, with him and Sandy. When that opening came about, what did you see in Alexis? Because that's not always the easiest transition, going from coaching the men to coaching the women.
Well, I'm going to even back up a little bit farther. I met Alexis, and it was like a fist bump, and we went on. But he was at the University of Virginia as an assistant up there, and I think we played UVA up there. It might have been, we might have won that game.
I think you're right.
Up there.
I think you did.
Yeah.
And it might have been the first game in John Paul Arena.
Yeah.
That the first loss they had, and it was to us. And they were on the floor. Men was on the floor doing what they normally do. Stay on the floor, wouldn't let us on the floor. And so we finished up, fist bump, and walked out there. And the things that remember even then it was just body language. The head coach is leaving, and assistants sometimes, they're sometimes really kind, and I could even see the body language coming from Alexis, like, oh man, we should have been off this floor or whatever. But that was even 3 years before we even connected. He said he didn't have any sisters, so he had no idea how to deal with women's basketball. But Alexis, I had 3 brothers and no sisters as well. Right. So we'd been down this pathway before. I was pursuing men and was working on the men's side before I transitioned over on the women's side. And it was just through opportunities. It was not something that I think both of us desired, because we're doing the macho guy thing, but God had opened doors for me. And years later, Alexis, and when the men were transitioning, and I was losing Olaf Lang to his wife and to the WNBA, that was an honorable thing. And man, he needed to move on, and we were both cheering for him. And as they were in the WNBA and won the championship this year, at that point in time, somebody needed to be guarding the ship or the fort. And Alexis was here trying to navigate, and I'm watching him. And actually, Olaf had recommended him as well. So we had the conversation. So that's how it started. And just being personally down that same journey or that pathway into women's basketball, we could walk through it together. And when you really talk to women's basketball player, it's basketball. It's basketball. Yes, they have their God-given personality, and but it comes down to the game is game. The game doesn't have gender. You just play the game. Put the ball in the hole. Now we've changed it up a little bit by having a smaller basketball, or we've got quarters and halves and things like that. But the game is still the game. So I didn't have any hesitation. I had to navigate him through some funny things, and what I mean by funny things. He said, Coach, what do you do? We don't go in the locker room, do we? And, I said, hey, we don't. And through the transition of changing our facilities and things like that, we got a lounge, we got a war room, which is actually a video room, and so it's really helped us the way we've designed that we can have relationships that are normal, and just teach the game of basketball. And that's where we sort of joined.
Anytime in the coaching profession, you don't often get to stay in the same place for a long time. Even head coaches bounce around a lot. The fact that, Alexis, you've been here over 20 years now. Coach Green, you've been here 26 years now. It's got to be a blessing as far as your personal lives are concerned and your kids and so on. But from a professional standpoint, how hard is it to not become kind of complacent, especially with the success in the early days? But the success has continued. And what have you guys done to kind of keep things fresh and innovative, even after having been here together for so long?
Can't marry you.
We'll volley it back and forth. Okay. For me, I'm saying this jokingly, but I've been blessed. And how long? 9,938 days, okay? 26 years, 3 months, and 15 days. Okay. That's success. You don't get fired. Okay. and I celebrate that. God's been good. The administration has been good. And the success that we've had is not being created alone. So we've worked together. To navigate through these things and keep it fresh, I think we use each other, and just most recently, the technology has changed the game. We reached out there and grabbed some technology, and it's helped us coach, I think, at a higher level, because we still have this gut feeling at times. Hey, they're tired. What do you think?
Yeah.
And so-and-so is having a bad day or a bad week. We see that, and we use the illustration: a good shepherd knows his sheep, and we still have that human, God-led spirit that helps us. But we've been able to bring in some technology and speed things up and change, grow. And then we use that. I use a phrase that George Bernard Shaw has quoted: "Hey, progress is impossible without change. And if you can't change your mind, you can't change anything." So we try to keep our minds changing and fresh. And not that all changes are beneficial, because you get into, you're doing everything that everybody else is doing, and that takes you to another verse in the scriptures, Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the world. Don't be doing like everybody else. We need to weigh things out, and the rest of that is to renew your mind. Think a little different every day, and I think that's the major force against just being complacent and still. With all those, we still got to guard it, because it's the same old way, same old time. But we try to keep it fresh like that. That's my side of it.
In addition to that, I would say, both Coach Green, myself, we're very competitive people. Actually, our whole staff is very competitive. And then each year is a different year. You get different players every year, which brings different challenges, new strengths, new weaknesses. So each year, we'll have a play that works one year, and then in the next year, it doesn't work. So there's going to be a renovation, a transition stage there. So I think the girls, we have 15, 14 young ladies, different personalities coming from different places around the world. They keep you on your toes, and they keep you sharp. So just with regards to complacency, it was pretty simple, because we're always trying to become better. We're at an unbelievable university. We have an unbelievable product, and we want to represent our university well. So each year brings new challenges, new successes, and definitely never a dull moment around here with women's basketball.
And those freshmen come in and keep you guys younger and younger and younger, because you got to think that way. Right. It's a TikTok world, And I don't even know if was there even MySpace back when you guys fired up, So yeah, things definitely change. Alexis, you mentioned something during your press conference that you said, as many times as you've talked to Coach Green in the last 18 years, you've talked to him more than that in the last couple of weeks as you go through this transition period. What are some things that you've learned in the last month since all this has been going on? I know there's the X's and O's. You learned those from Coach, and you guys shared thoughts years and years ago. But what have you picked up that maybe you didn't realize in the last couple of weeks?
Well, I would say as I said, I've spoken with Coach Green quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, and it's been a good training ground. And you're right, it's really not about basketball. I think what I'm taking from Coach Green is that I just have to stay grounded spiritually. I think as coach, as a male, as a human being, we tend to want to kind of do it on our own, or I can do this, I can put it all on yourself. But I've just really watched Coach Green over the years and how he just puts his trust in the Lord, and it's just been an unbelievable example. So if anything, I would say, or one of the many things is I've learned is that moving, even in this transition, moving to the head coaching position, you just have to put your trust in the Lord. Seek Him first. and all things will be added unto you. So for sure, I mean, obviously my natural tendency is I want to drop this great play and I want to, do this defense and I want to fix this problem over here. But I think if I keep my life Christ-centered, I'll be in a position to be a great leader, to lead these young women and our staff. And the games will work out on its own. We'll get good results if we keep our priorities in order.
How many conversations do you anticipate between now and opening tip-off? And you're in such a unique situation here. You got, it's how many times do you get to have the ear of the previous head coach? Not a lot, because a lot of times that previous head coach is on severance pay and doesn't want to take any phone calls from anybody at the university. So it's a totally different scenario than what you guys are working out of. But it's pretty cool to have the previous head coach on your speed dial.
So it's almost been a cheat code. I mean, you could say cheat code, you could say a blessing. This transition has been phenomenal. I mean, just to have my mentor by my side, even throughout the transition. I can call Coach Green at any time, morning, noon, and night. I mean, he's usually up before me, so he's always available. And just his heart, and I know he wants me to do well. So just that alone just helps this relationship, helps me, and to me, he'll always be my head coach in my mind.
Coach, let's close with this. Coach Green, what are a couple pieces of advice I'm sure that you've probably already given Alexis, but that you would be willing to share with us as well?
Well, I think he's hit the major point there is just keep your eyes focused on Jesus. And we talked a little bit about it. As a head coach, you get more distractions than you want. And as you get pulled away in so many different places, sometimes all that noise really just makes you lonely. And because you're being pulled so many different directions, and so much is on you, then that is when you have to surrender and just allow God to call a time out and say, God, hey, you help me think the way I should think and guide my heart to doing the things I should be doing. And it's not really complicated. You have a Heavenly Father that loves you and is wanting to bless you, and sometimes we say no to that. And as long as you're tuned in there, you'll be okay, and he'll be okay. And my speed dial is always there, available for him. But then too, I'm giving him his space to be himself too, and I think that's important. And he'll certainly honor God and glorify God with championships.
I think some of the things that probably are going to be in those phone calls are going to be as far from basketball as possible. It's going to be, all right, you've been hosting this Christmas party for the last 26 years. What do I do? It's just the things that you don't think about as an assistant coach that kind of get done, and it's dealing with the administration, and it's a great administration to deal with, but it's a different set of responsibilities and things that you've got to think about. So I'm guessing X's and O's, every once in a while you might bounce an idea or two, but it's mostly going to be those behind-the-scenes things that the fans aren't even going to think about.
Sure. I mean, I've been around it. I've seen it from a short distance, but actually being in that chair, that'll be a transition. But like you said, this university, I'm working with great people, people who want me to succeed and be successful. So I think everyone's going to know this is my first time around the block, and they'll be very graceful with me.
Well, if you need any input on the catering side of things, just let me know. You put me on the speed dial too. I'm there for you.
Got it.
Well, I appreciate you guys both coming in and having this conversation, and it just shows how smooth the transition is, and there's not many programs that have that as a blessing when you go from one head coach to another. And also, while I got you both here, and we'll have a chance, and Alexis will talk to you individually here in just a minute, it's just been my pleasure being a small part of what you guys are doing as a program, but I've always felt like family. The whole program feels like family. Paul Carmen and I, sports information guy, we talk about this all the time. And this is no knock on other sports, but other sports you feel like you're working. And here I've never once felt like I was working. I feel like we're hanging out right now. And I might have to do a little work later and edit it together, make me sound like I'm smarter than I am. But for the most part, it's just been so much fun, and I look forward to continuing that. Thank you both for coming in.
Let me say this, Jamie, in reference, as I know Alexis will say as well. We really appreciate you and how you've represented us and presented us to Flames Nation and to the public. And not only you, Paul Carmody, you two guys are MVP, top shelves, and we certainly have been blessed with you guys.
Well, as I blush now, we'll throw it to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to the new head coach of the Liberty Lady Flames individually, Alexis Sherard, right after this.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back into this week's special Liberty Flames women's basketball show. Appreciate you tuning in to the podcast wherever you pick them up, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, maybe you're watching on YouTube. We certainly appreciate your support of Liberty Athletics in general. And if you want more information on how you can be a part of this upcoming Lady Flames season, or football, men's basketball, baseball, softball in the spring, whatever you need as far as tickets or information is concerned, you can go to libertyflames.com. We're now joined by the 7th head coach in the history of Lady Flames basketball, Alexis Sherard. And first, Coach, if you think about that, women's basketball, this university's been around over 50 years, only 7 head coaches. You're in a pretty small fraternity as far as that's concerned, of the number of head coaches in this program. Overwhelming? Has it sunk in yet at all?
I wouldn't say overwhelming. It's a blessing. I mean, 7th head coach. Obviously, when you have head coaches that had the success that Coach Green has had, 26 years, that's not really room for a lot of coaches, even in 50 years. That's probably half the livelihood of the whole university. But there's been a lot of success over the years, and it's just an honor to be on that list as one of the head coaches for the women's basketball team.
I know, and I hope this doesn't sound negative. I don't mean it to be negative. I know there's kind of the old adage of you don't want to follow the guy. You know, the Dean Smith, that was a rough transition after Dean Smith. And Coach Shire's doing pretty good down at Duke, but there's some times when there's some times when you're coming in after a guy who's clearly going to be a Hall of Famer that's a little extra pressure. But I think this is a different scenario because you guys have pretty much been in lockstep for the last 18 years. There's not a lot of transition. I mean, I know you're not going to. You're your own man. You're going to do some things differently, but at least in this period of time, this first year or so, everything is, there's a pretty good formula for success, and I feel like you're probably going to stick with that formula.
Sure. I mean, just Coach Green as a leader, his example is, we've been with him every step of the way. I mean, he's obviously our leader, but he has us right by his side, and I've been by his side, as you know, for 18 years. Obviously, first-year head coach, but as I told the team, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. The program has been in great shape. We've had a lot of success over the years. I've been learning from the best. I'll obviously add my little Sherard wrinkles here and there, but our style of play would be similar. The focuses, the emphasis, the family, the unity, still building champions for Christ, none of that's going to change. So there'll be a lot of consistency, a lot of continuity with me as the new head coach.
And I know some of this depends upon the athletes that you have, and we won't get too much into the roster for this year, but we can kind of touch on it a little bit. You've got some pretty good athletes that are coming in and some diversity all over the world, the most international students the program has ever had in one given season. I don't know, I can't ever remember having a majority of international players on some of the tennis teams and something like that. That's a different story. But as far as Liberty women's basketball, this is a first. So some of that is the cultural cohesiveness and chemistry that you've got to work out. But you do have some athletes. Does that maybe lend itself to playing a little bit faster pace?
Sure. I mean, that's just a testament to the university. It attracts families from all over the world. I mean, it's just an unbelievable university. But we do have some athleticism. I mean, obviously the game of basketball is a game of speed, precision, accuracy. But with the athletes that we have, I am anticipating playing a little faster, maybe changing up on defense a little bit more than we have in the past. But just with regards to the overall scheme, playing inside out, we have a very good post players. Emmy Stout, obviously coming off a great season last year, did a great job inside. Returning player Avery, probably our best pure shooter. Elizabeth from Iceland, probably our best overall defender, who can defend, probably 1 through 5. So we have some continuity in our pieces, but with the new additions of the players coming in, some freshmen, some transfers, they do bring some athleticism. So I do anticipate playing a little bit faster, getting up and down a little bit more. But we'll still shoot threes. We don't have Emma Hess on the floor, but we'll have some similar players that like to shoot the three, and then we'll have some size inside. So we'll look to rebound and get out and make the game fun.
You mentioned Emma Hess. That's a good transition. Most of the staff from last year still going to be in place this coming year, but a couple of new additions, Emma being one of them. Can you kind of go through the staff and what you see as the positives that they bring?
Sure. So I was able to add Brad Palmer, who came from Arkansas Tech. Brad has a plethora of experience. He coached both on the men's side and the women's side. He was a head coach for years as well. With his wealth of knowledge, I think he's a godly man. He has a great heart, great personality. He's been a great addition. Almost, it seems like he's been here for years already. I mean, he just has a great spirit about him. The girls have really taken to him immediately. He has a great knowledge of the game, so I think he'll be a great asset for me, just to keep me calm, keep me in tune with what's going on, and I'm looking forward to his great suggestions. And then you have Emma Hess, who literally just got off the hardwood. I mean, she probably still has her championship ring on her finger as we speak. Who played for us for 4 years. Even prior to playing here, she was been at our elite camp for 2 years. So I've known Emma since mid-high school years. And I think with her ability to relate to the players, obviously her accolades speak volumes. So she's definitely most recently walked and played where our current players are walking and playing. So I think just a relational aspect, because in the new dynamics of college basketball, it's all about relationships. So I just try to surround myself with people who are excellent relationship developers and have great personalities and obviously love the Lord. And I think cohesively, it'll be a seamless transition with the staff that we have, in addition to the staff that's already been here.
And I won't mention every name, because as time has gone on, the staff gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And if I start mentioning names, we're going to forget somebody. Sure. But there is a lot of diversity as far as this program is concerned. And I mean, from the administrative side of things with the Sarah Barudas and so on, all the way down to your coaching staff, when you got a former WNBA star and Katie Feenstra-Matera that can go in and I mean, the knees might not be what they once were, but she can show some post moves. Sure. And then you've got Andy Bloodworth, which is kind of like the mini me on the other side of things, that can get in there with the point guards and show them what they need to do. And so from top to bottom, Amber all the way through here. I'm starting listing names so that I can forget somebody. But as far as Dan as well, and I know, and I'm going to get back to Dan in just a moment. But as far as the on-court diversity that you have in this staff and this experience that they have, and the fact that, especially in Katie's case, been there, done that. You want to get to this level? Let me show you how. It's got to be nice.
I'm overly excited about my staff. I think we are well-rounded. As you said, Emma and Katie, Liberty alumni. Actually, Brad, Katie, and Dan Lumpkin, all with previous head coaching experience. So I'm overly excited about the experience that the staff brings, the support, the knowledge. I think they all have different personalities. They'll be able to touch different players in different areas. Andy's been with me 18 years. We have a brother-sister relationship. So I think the continuity that we have will bring volume, will bring very good addition to the program and help the transition be seamless. So everyone has their strength, and I try to just surround myself with coaches that are like-minded, and everyone brings a certain quality to the program that's going to be very beneficial.
Now, I mentioned Dan Lumpkin, and I don't want to speak out of school because I don't know exactly what titles are going to be and everything, but I know there has to be, and every program has to have more focus on a general manager type facilitator inside the program. And it seems like Dan has kind of worked his way into that role a little bit. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but with this age of NIL and if you'd have said 10, 15 years ago that programs would have general managers or someone that was filling that role, we'd looked at each other like, you were crazy. This isn't the Knicks and the Lakers. What are you talking about? Pat Riley is not walking through that door. But in this day and age, you kind of have to have somebody dealing with those things.
Sure. I mean, it's the new norm. I mean, it's a new era in college basketball, and Dan will be the special assistant to the head coach, student athlete development, and NIL organizer. So you almost have to have someone in place to navigate, fundraise, because NIL is part of the game now. It's part of the recruiting. It's part of the semantics when you're talking to families. So you just have to adjust with the times. And we're blessed that the university has really provided all the resources that we need to stay, contemporary. Because you're only as good as your players. So in order to get good players, you have to have the resources and funds to make it happen.
You've talked about the fact that you kind of caught the coaching bug after you finished playing college yourself. Let's go back to that, and then some of the coaching mentors that you've had over the years, which culminates, of course, with Coach Green at the end of this.
Sure. So, as I said, I played at St. Mike's. Tom Crowley was my coach. I actually worked for him for 2 years at St. Mike's, and funny story, he said, Alexis, if you're serious about coaching, you got to go. So I actually played at St. Mike's for 4 years, coached with him for 2 years. So after 6 years in Vermont, Coach Crowley felt that I needed to spread my wings. So not really having anywhere to go at the time, I was still very hungry to be a coach. I ended up going back to New Jersey. Did 1 year at my alma mater at my high school, was a head high school coach for 1 year. Tim Costello was my high school coach, and he was still there. He actually gave me the head coaching job for 1 year. I was a head high school coach and head of admissions there at the high school. From there, I actually transitioned to Providence College. I worked with Pete Gillen, who is obviously another legendary coach, Hall of Fame coach. I was with him 2 years. I then from Providence went to Binghamton University for 1 year. I went to in a full-time recruiting position at Binghamton under Jim Norris, who was an excellent coach, a great mentor as well. But after that 1 year, Pete Gillen from Providence went to Virginia, and he had some transition in his staff, so he called me back. So I was reunited with Pete Gillen for another 6 years at UVA, and from there transitioned to Liberty. Actually, Randy Dunton, coach here years ago, invited me down, put me on his staff, and was with him for 2 years. And from there, transitioned to the women's side. So I was, I think, 14 years on the men's side, and obviously 18 years on the women's. So that's a pretty balanced resume. So I've been there, seen it on both sides. But I can truly say the 18 years I've been here have just been unbelievable, and really never look back.
We might have to do a podcast just alone talking about Pete Gillen sometimes because he's one of my favorite people, and I wish things would have gone a little bit better in the end up at UVA, because what a great guy.
He's a great man.
Wonderful human being and a quote machine. I don't know if you get to watch him on some of these halftime shows on CBS Sportsnet, but I feel like I'm watching a stand-up comedian. Was he always that way?
Always. I mean, he always was witty. He always had something quick to say. He was usually very, very funny. But Pete was a very passionate coach. And he was a great leader as well. I mean, I've learned a lot from Pete, just the intricate parts of the game, being detail-oriented. There's no detail that's just not small enough, or it's not big enough that you don't want to pay close attention to. So I've worked with several head coaches that were just excellent coaches, really paved the road for me, groomed me, and really prepared me for this day.
One thing I will say is don't take one of Pete's philosophies as a head coach. I always would joke, and I think the last time I saw him, I joked this. He would use all of his timeouts in the first half. He'd go into the locker room, we wouldn't have a timeout left. You got to stop that momentum. I was like, yeah, but you got to save one. You might need an in-game situation.
Well, I think I think Pete was probably use timeouts very, very quickly, and then Coach Green was maybe on the opposite side of that spectrum, used them sparingly. So I think I'll probably be somewhere in the middle with regards to my timeouts for sure.
Well, women's basketball, being able to advance the ball in the last minute, Pete didn't have that to worry about back in the day.
Had he had that, he may have saved a couple for the fourth quarter.
That's right. You got to. Well, let's talk about coaching philosophy. Like, you talked about maybe some new wrinkles, and we don't want to give out anything to the opposition, but what are some Sherard wrinkles that you were talking about, or just some concepts, I guess?
Well, I like sets. I have a pad around my house. Almost at every coffee table, there's a pad and pen. So I'm always thinking offensive sets. So I try to incorporate the offensive sets that we currently have that we've used over the years and just put wrinkles in them. Obviously, being here 18 years, recruited a lot of the players here. I know their strengths and weaknesses. So I probably try to create more shot opportunities and probably control where shots are taking on the floor a little bit more than just a general continuity. We have, some really good shooters. So I'll try to produce some shots out for screens. Obviously, Emmy Stout, Lynn are excellent post players. But, with the athleticism that we have, I think the tempo will definitely be quicker a little bit more. But, we're in a great conference. Conference USA is an excellent conference. So everyone has good transition defense. So at the end of the day, you have to have a very good half-court offense. But there'll be a lot of screens, manufacturing, maybe some false movement to try to get people on spots on the floor where they're most comfortable and most successful.
Now, last thing for you, and this is more of a personal note. Over the last, however long Instagram's been a thing, and Instagram Reels have been a thing, and maybe a little bit of Facebook, but mostly Instagram, usually I've got at least one funny reel, fail video, comedy moment in my inbox when I get home. Sometimes I get a little bit behind, and you've probably noticed that there's about 5 of them, and I react to all 5 of them over the weekend because I've missed them. But now that you got the head coaching job, am I going to see less of those? Because, I mean, sometimes that's my entertainment for the night whenever I get in. What did Coach Sherard send? Oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be good.
Well, for everyone who knows, man, I like to laugh. I like to joke. I like to have a good time. I mean, they say if you don't laugh, you might cry. So I'd rather laugh any given day. So social media is a good tool. I think, it could consume you if you let it, but it could be a good relief tool if you want it to be that as well. So, no, I think the funny videos will still keep coming your way, Jamie, just to keep the smile on both of our faces.
I appreciate that. And let me ask one real quick thing before the end. I know, gosh, time's flying now. Was it over a year ago, 2 years ago now, that you had a little bit of a health scare? And I don't know that on this forum that I've asked you how you've been doing, how's the health going, how's the recovery from the heart episode that you had, and remind me what year that was. Has that been 2 years ago now?
Sure, that was October of 23. Yeah. I had quadruple bypass open heart surgery, and I basically have a brand new heart. I mean, I'm feeling better than I was before, so I think it came at the right time. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but it was God's plan, and God knew this day was coming, and God said, you probably want to have your heart at 100%. Not 50%. So the recovery has gone well. I'm fully 100% recovered. The doctors and the medical team at the hospital did a great job, and I am ready and looking forward to the challenge.
Outstanding. I've already got the date circled. It's going to be here before we know it, the 1st of November. Looking forward to some Lady Flames basketball. Golly, let's do the math. I mean, we're less than 6 weeks away.
Sure.
Unbelievable how quickly things kind of sneak up on you, but I'm looking forward to it, Coach.
Yeah, likewise.
That was an outstanding Liberty Flames women's basketball show, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll have the full slate of shows coming up in November once we get into season. We'll probably have a little bit of a preview between now and then, so stay tuned on all your favorite podcast outlets as well as YouTube. Until then, this is Jamie Hall saying so long and God bless.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames podcast. Join us next time as we visit with those making Liberty Flames news on the field, on the court, and in the classroom.